tropical soda apple, like many of our worst invasive plants or weedy plants in the state, is an exotic. It originated in South America, southern Brazil, northern Argentina, that area of the world. And why these exotic plants often become a problem when they're moved from one part of the world to another is they escape control by their natural enemies. So what we do is we go back to where the plant came from, see what's feeding on it there, study these insects, and select ones that are very specific, that only feed on the target plant, introduce those into a quarantine station in the United States, study them thoroughly under quarantine, again to make sure that they only feed on the target plant, and then eventually after several years we may get permission to release by the state and federal authorities. With tropical soda apple, this work began in 1994, and the first insect was released in 2003 in Polk County. And the insect's name is Gratiana boliviana, and it's a small beetle that feeds on the plant. Since then, we've released beetles at more than 200 locations in Florida. We've also made some releases in Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. Tell you a little bit about the biology of the insect. The female lays about 100-150 eggs during her lifetime. Then the eggs develop into larvae, the larvae into pupae, and then you get new adults. And the whole life cycle takes approximately 1 month. The adults are fairly long-lived. They'll live out in the field for 2 or 3 months and reproduce. One of the perhaps drawbacks to this beetle is it goes into a reproductive diapause, is what we call it. But basically it just means that they quit laying eggs during the wintertime when day length becomes short. And that happens approximately 1 month from now, sort of around mid-November. The beetles quit laying eggs. They survive through the winter as adults, but they're feeding, they don't feed very much, and they're not reproducing. So the beetle populations go down. And then they come back the following spring. We're looking for additional biocontrol agents. We have 2 in the pipeline right now, which we hope will be a little bit better adapted. So the beetles do very well here in the summer, spring, summer, and fall, but not so well in the winter. The results we have to date look very promising. I just was analyzing some data yesterday from a ranch in St. Lucie County, where we released beetles about a year ago, I think July 2006. And we're looking at what has happened to plant density and the percent of an area covered by the plant after 1 year. And it's quite impressive. We have 40 to 60% reduction in number of plants and about the same reduction in cover. Also, fewer plants are producing fruits now, so there's fewer seeds out there. But so that's after 1 year, and in areas where we've been working longer, 2 and 3 years, we see a much greater reduction. So it's not something quick. It's not like a herbicide or like the virus that you just heard about. It doesn't kill the plants right away. It's going to take a couple years. But the beauty of this type of biocontrol, which we call classical biocontrol, is it gives you long-term sustainable control of a population.